Welcome everyone to what is one of the most special rounds of the calendar. Well, not the most special, but the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is very historic, very traditional track. In real life, there's one place driver wants to win the most. It's probably this speedway, located in Speedway, Indiana. It's got its own postcode, that's how big it is. But right now, at the moment, in this virtual world, it is track hosting the 4th round of the FRL Nascar Series. I am Cash. I'm joined by co-commentator Russ Kagi to give a thought about this quite insane racing.
Yes, I can, and yes, I will. In real life, one of my all-time favorite motor racing events to watch on television, and we're so back home in Indiana that Jim Neighbors himself couldn't have said it better. We're on the 4th round of this championship, the off-season Oval League, and Hyperboss is running away with this championship as it stands, 87 points. Second place, Smykos has 61 points. So it's a large gap to fill for the people chasing the Funny Group Racing driver.
Of course, has been quite competitive, the most competitive team so far in this series. And they might continue that trend here today. They've been practicing before this race in their own private test sessions, and seeing they were quite preparing a lot for this race. And although it's not double points like it is in IndyCar, it is still a very important championship and probably a very tough track compared to some others. It's a rectangular shape track, long straightaways, even Salvatore very quite low banks, where there is some banking, but completely for everyone so far in this practice session is hitting the wall. Well, going to see that a lot in this.
The interesting thing about Funny Group Racing is they've appeared to be a fully competitive team, but all kinds of mishaps have kind of befallen their other two drivers. The next driver in the championship for them is in 5th. It's Junior. Attendance is part of that, but you had Gio hitting the wall in round 1, and the Manti drivers definitely sort of the troublemakers in Funny Group Racing's dream of dominating this series. I believe I cannot see the screen. If I'm supposed to be able to. If you'd like, yes. To save space in the server.
We are going to skip that. Everyone is here to say what we can. Just qualifying everyone is going to start getting out the pit lane. You can see the small part pretty much there.
Qualifying, we don't use the traditional IndyCar qualifying modality that they use on ovals. This is called the Nascar League for, I believe, the official term from the officials was markability purposes, but it definitely resembles IndyCar, but we are using a traditional formula-style lap time qualifying as opposed to the average speed qualifying that you'd normally find on real-life American open-wheel oval racing.
There is no such thing. Everyone will be, well, hopefully, please interrupt the last time. It's going to be interesting. It's the longer lap than usual for an oval. You have to be quite precise around it. It's going to be really interesting. Like now, purple sector is flowing across the board. The track might be broken. We can first, who is where on the track right when they cross the mark. Chris cross O and G seems to be because he is the track. Head down, front track, and cross the very famous yard of brick. This one beats that battle so far, but everyone is following. So it looks like this cross is in. Oh no, fantastic. 10.5 ahead of the field. He will this report in the first half as everyone comes in. No, Michael beats him instead. Two total seconds, one week, just 3-1 was on the second lap.
I don't recall what the fastest lap from practice is. I tuned in briefly in person, and I believe it was a 43.2. Excuse me for one moment, I messed up. Wait.
Pretty very the practice had a really decent lap there, but everyone the two men couldn't just hit the wall and think that ultimately won.
So it's Manti ahead of Arcade Racing, ahead of the two Fun Group Racing cars in terms of teams, which was where we left off on the last race. Arcade Racing having kind of a quiet start to their first season as a team, but Man Pifting definitely showing why he is as achieved as a driver as he is in the main season. He's starting to get his oval shoes on, as in fact are everybody. Smykos sits on provisional pole. I would compliment his driving, and it's worthy of complimenting. But the last time I complimented Smykos, he went into a wall.
This one's going to put quickly there. He just pulled his own maybe. But
XR3
Pifton puts you in pole.
and Pifting goes on to provisional.
Great purple sector. He's back on the top. Okay, sorry. Thomas was good. That competition is pretty junior. You need 3D sectors because that could be a huge improvement. But the custom lines are red lines, but the thing where he gained some points. This is a very interesting thing that I'm beautiful. So many presents. You don't see the graphics for the survivor we are going forward with. This is going out. Yep. Yeah. How that's how it's very
So many people driving. It's literally breaking the game, but I guess that's a good problem to have. Smykos gets that purple first sector back that he set earlier. The fun of new tracks. The fun of new track. To my knowledge, Smykos' only win in any Formula ROBLOX league, anything, is his oval win at Buenos Aires Endurance Challenge. Gotten very close this season, runs very strong on ovals, but hasn't been able to convert for one reason or another. They do say the brickyard bites. We have no bump system here today, but certainly if you're starting from way down there, it will be difficult to make up ground. You'll be in a slipstream chain. The reigning FRL World Champion is currently P6, making a reserve appearance as all drivers start their next laps. Hyperboss in P5, definitely the driver on top of this championship in terms of form right now. Not going to be quite happy with that. A little birdie has told me that you cannot be heard on the stream on YouTube. Yeah, there you go. There's my echo. Yes. Technical issues for the moment, folks. While our lead commentator tries to get his voice back, as do I. Excuse me. Manpifting currently sits on provisional pole, about 1/10 down from their best recorded qualifying time. Going me, Chris, 1/10 behind. You have to go down to 17th before you get 1 second, such as the field spread, but no massive gaps from position to position, so it doesn't take much to climb up this order. I'll do what I can. We see Lepri in the Gruppo Divertente, the Funny Group Racing second team car, starting their lap in 7th currently. No major improvements. There are some improvements coming down from the lower echelons of the field, 14th, 15th. Amogus, Maxim on green sectors, Crisscross in 12th, points down to 13th in this series. The final points paying position currently occupied by Gio, who's made the switch to the second team for this this round, it seems. Crisscross LMG goes up to P6 as Maxim Ninja jumped up to 10th and then is immediately demoted down to 11th. And we're seeing improvements from 17th and 18th Sanskrit and PvP Pitbull as well. The final seconds of qualifying are upon us. Sanskrit goes just this is out on the
Congratulations to him. Very well deserved. Finally getting things. Ready? Oh! My mind is going back in line. And finally. Go. Immediately. Hold it and tumble down at the seat. No. Oh, yes. You finally get back to the evening. We probably not nice. But you. Boss, you have to do, but well, make the race. And I was talking. You hold down to the field. He's going to retire. Early retirement. Now you talk. Yeah. Think of them. So, they are going to everyone else, so, but what is how you go for into the species? Not just you sort of around into you, so, hope,
All right, let's see. Well, there's a stream delay, so of course I'm waiting to hear myself. As Man Pifting takes back the lead of the race, and by quite some margin, half a second. Hyperboss falling back. Maybe he made a mistake on that lap. Let's see. Oh, definitely audible now. Man Pifting leads this race by 0.4 of a second. All the drivers on medium tires, but now Hyperboss and Going Me Chris are both starting to reel him back in. Hyperboss using the slipstream to bring his teammate back into play and takes himself back into the lead of this race as Going Me Chris now attacks Man Pifting for the lead. Smykos behind them both, hoping to pick up the scraps from this scrap at the battle as 16 Rise also being towed along in the battle for the win here at Indianapolis.
because I was trying something right there. What, it's all, a huge red bar, the audio, thing. Voice was tuned.
We'll figure this out eventually. I'm sure we will. But at least the racing is being broadcast live and in good quality picture from what I can see. Certainly now we have the leading pack quite defined. I mean, it's the top 5 here, and then there's a 5-second gap to the rest of the field, unless there's some crazy strategy gambles paying off for the drivers of the back. I think this will be the battle for the win now. Has to say, Baduk that started from quite low down in this field. I think they were last place. They're now running 7th in this race in one of the 2 number 8 cars in this field for Arcade Racing. Now up to 6th place. So strong drive from them. No bias at all from me. currently leading the rest of the pack now. The slip race effect is starting to come into play at the front. You see the intervals are all very small there. Occasionally the interval is 0, basically implying the cars are occupying the exact same linear spot on the racetrack. And it's a long game, these slipstream races, but it is all about maintaining consistency and also managing that alternation between the dirty air effect and the slipstream effect, keeping in pace, because a slight mistake and you're out of that pack and it's hard to get back in it. We're on lap 15 we're coming up to laps 15 to 75, which means we are already a quarter of the way through this brilliant race. 15, 30, 45. No, you're right. Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm totally not an engineering major, right? Let's see, imposter. The pit lane is busy. All of the invisible crews waiting to receive the driver. The 17 of Sussy Imposter has made their stop. They're going on to the medium tire. Much like the last FRL season, it is becoming a medium-centric series, but you must pit for 2 different compounds. That rule was introduced, I think, a round ago or 2 rounds ago. Just to prevent people from just running the mediums the entire time. So you will have to run the hard or the soft at some point in this race. Puts everybody. Hyperboss stays out, I believe. Puts Badukdat, who also stays out into 2nd place, as the drivers from the back attempt to make some kind of overcut of the drivers on the traditional copy strategy. Okay, I will.
Got to crank it up a session. Believe it. No problem with the now. Good.
Crank it up indeed. Badukdat is currently leading this race, but is just now ducking into pit lane to take their tires. They've yet to stop in this race. Crisscross OMG has yet to stop, as has Geo and Junior who I think is not in this race. Yeah, Junior's out of this race. So everyone else has stopped in this race, and there's now a variance of tires, predominantly a medium race before this. Medium is still the optimum tire to be on, but now drivers trying to fulfill their alternate compound rule at different points. Some on hards now, some on mediums. Which means there's a lot of drivers who still need to run the medium tire in this race. As a duck that just went through pit lane without stopping. That's very strange. His pit box did not spawn. Oh no, not this again. So we have some of the gremlins returning from, I believe it was our street race in Rio in FRL, where the pit boxes were invisible. The number 8 driver is in pit lane looking for crew, but they're not there. It's very unfortunate. They're running very well in this race. They're currently crawling down pit lane. Out in front, 16 Rise leads this race by quite a bit. They have stopped, according to my screen. They are leading this race on pace. They benefited from the pit stop sequence. And pivoting 1 second behind, followed by Crisscross Humg as Jaduck that is now driving backwards through pit lane. It's very unfortunate for them. Not sure what the officials are going to do. I don't know if there are any officials present in still who are not racing. Yeah, to my knowledge, we have no officials who are currently active. Additionally, on my screen anyway, the timing tower says they're on mediums, but they appear to be visually on softs, which was another sign that there might be a glitch in the server we discovered earlier in this race. Yeah, he's now less than a second, 1.2 seconds. Just if he can get back the lead of that race, he can definitely reduce the punishment on a hard tire compared to the other hard runners. The next one back is Smykos, and the next R3, Tax, and Amogus are also running the hard tire in the top 10 as it stands now. But just losing touch with 16 Rise a bit, who was somewhat of a non-entity in the early part of this race, but has now, through the pit stop sequence, really brought themselves into this very well, leading this race. But I believe still has to take the punishment of another tire compound later. Maybe they're trying to eke it out and go for a soft tire blitz at the end. We'll have to see later as we go on to the 25th lap, which is officially 1/3 of the race through, and I will verify that with numbers after this event as we come on to the 26th lap. of the Indy 187 for the Formula ROBLOX off-season oval NASCAR League. The drivers who just pitted, Crisscross and Gio, are setting improved sectors. They're the only ones in the field doing so. Everyone else is putting in a red sector after red sector. The only people less than a second from the car in front is Lepre to XR3 and Smykos and Going Me Chris to Manpifting, respectively, as they're attempting to use the superior grip and the slipstream to possibly get themselves back into contention for this race. Hyperboss hanging back, pitted a little bit out of sync with most of the leaders, so going to have superior grip later, but for now is about 5 seconds back from Smykos in fourth. The only driver still running that's off the lead lap is the Arcade Racing number 8 of Beduktat, whose pit box did not spawn. They're just going to have to circulate for the rest of this race, even though they will not qualify for the result. Just get some good practice in. Currently running 17th. Manpifting has now caught up to 16 Rise, quite significantly in these last few laps. Using the hard tire, is going to try to go for a move for the lead of this race. Goes into the first corner, ducks low onto the apron, right behind the Stella Corsa driver. Can't quite get them into that corner, but still following through Indianapolis, carrying Going Me Chris 2 with both of them. Both of them have a chance to take this lead of this race. The slipstream effect coming into play now. They run low onto the apron. Manpifting using so much of the greenery to get what he wants. Oh, but Going Me Chris takes him into that corner. Too much greenery for Manpifting, and now Going Me Chris is going for the lead of this race. The top three separated by 1/10 of a second between the trio of them. Fun turn of phrase. 16 Rise just holds them both off. They run just as they did before, but Going Me Chris cuts underneath, goes down the inside, and takes the lead of this race, carrying Manpifting with him. 16 Rise, and a single corner goes from first to third on the medium tire, and now Manpifting and Going Me Cross are fighting for the lead, while 16 Rise has a chance to take it back and take second place back. Brilliant driving from the three of them. Going Me Chris back in front, 16 Rise back down to third. Manpifting, the meat in the sandwich, in this case, trying to become the bread, now falls down to third place as 16 Rise takes second place. They're going in a different configuration every single corner. Going Me Chris now the leader of this race. 16 Rise starting to fall a little bit out of sync, as is Manpifting. 3/10 away, now 4/10 away. They were separated by nothing a few laps ago. Now they are starting to fan out just a bit, but still within the slipstream range, still able to fight each other as Manpifting goes through 16 Rise, weaving to break the slipstream. Manpifting takes second place as Sussy Imposter goes a lap down to the leaders from pit lane, and will provide Smykos possibly a nice little slipstream to try to get back in sync with the top three. Those are the gaps as we run down to the 31st lap. 2/10 to second, and another half a second to third place, and another 3 seconds down to fourth place. The only other battles going on, XR3 and Lepre fighting for 6th place. Maxim Ninja and Sanskrit fighting for 14th place, just outside the points bank position, and Tax is catching Crisscross OMG in the number 30 Lazados, trying to pass the number 88 Manti Hendricks Motorsports car. 16 Rise and Manpifting running close to the wall, unable to switch positions as it stands now. Manpifting about to fall a second away from the Funny Group Racing car of Going Me Chris. 16 Rise, I think he made a mistake on that lap. I think he hit the wall because he just lost a second to Man Pifting. He's starting to get it back with the slipstream effect from the lap car, the imposter, but possibly a huge detrimental error on that lap for him, as Man Pifting now sorts about. And a 16 Rise comes down to pit lane to get rid of the medium tire. Stops on their marks. The number 11 crew receives the black and red Stella Corsa car, and it is a hard tire, so they're going to finish this race on the hard tire. And they are the first of the leaders to make a second stop. The only people to stop twice so far in this race are the Lagua racing cars of Sussy Imposter and PvP Pitbull. 16 Rise will come out in 9th, and Leclerc Best respawns in 12th to make their second stop. Going Me Chris and Man Pifting staying out as it stands. And we saw you can make up big ground by going on alternating pit strategies. You can also lose big ground as well. We'll see how that fills out. As it stands, Charles Leclerc Best will come out on the hard tire, getting their option tire out of the way. And Pifting now a second and a half back from Going Me Chris. Hyperboss is now right behind Smykos, using the lap car of Beduktat as a slipstream tool of sorts, but as is Smykos, has that available to him as well. Less than a second separating the drivers fighting for the final spot on the podium. Hyperboss hoping to make up ground and get back into that leading pack. Laps PvP Pitbull. Yes, he is he's going a lap down very soon. Unable to catch Smykos as it stands, using the slipstream from the lap cars to try to catch him. 0.2 of a second as it stands, but just in the middle phase of that corner, Smykos always pulls a bit of gap as Lepre comes to pit lane in the 73. And they will change to medium tires. And Pifting getting the slipstream on their teammate, who is a lap down. The 7 slipstreaming the 8, both arcade racing cars, as Man Pifting makes an effort to catch the leader Going Me Chris too. As it stands, Beduktat is making efforts to unlap themselves, it seems. Yep, they have just passed the race leader. I think they are multiple laps down, but they have gotten a lap back now. So definitely a viable slipstream tool. If a driver that's further down the field than probably is normal to some issue, in this case the pit box disappearing, they can be a viable slipstreams tool, because if they can maintain a gap on the cars that are a lap up from them, they are not obliged to get out of. They could pull a certain gap in a certain amount of time. It's Going Me Chris, our race leader, comes to pit lane, the 23, waiting to receive their driver for Funny Group Racing. See what they stop onto with just under 40 laps to go. Man Pifting and Smykos stay out. Crisscross OMG stays out. Hyperboss, their teammate, comes into pit lane. Tax comes into pit lane. It's the hard tire for Crisscross OMG. Hyperboss will stop on their marks in the final pit stall. Also the hard tire. Tax comes in to remove the hard tire. Or I think they just fit it, actually, when we caught them. No, they're just fitting. They're going back onto the hard tire again, so they're fitting the hard for the... Tax is going for 2 option stints as opposed to primary option, primary, or primary option in the case of the Funny Group Racing cars. Our current race leader, Man Pifting, still owes the field a pit stop as Crisscross OMG comes in. He is currently on the option tire, the hard. He will want to be on the primary tire, the medium. So their final stint will be on the medium tire. Definitely a strategy. Fits the hard. XR3 in the 69. Lazados does the same. Changes onto the hard tire. Gio switching teams for this race, going to the junior team for Funny Group Racing in the other number 8 in this field. Will fit the primary tire. Yeah, fits for the primary tire. The top 2 in this race owe the field a pit stop, as does Maxim Ninja. 10th must pit again. The one stop does not appear to be a viable strategy in this race based on what we've seen here at the Brickyard today. Man Pifting currently out in front, leading this race by 3 seconds, attempting a lot on rivals 16 Rise, Going Me Chris, and Hyperboss Smykos also staying out, doing much the same thing, using the lapped cars to try to carry that forward as Maxim Ninja pits for the 43/44 crew from Anti. Sponsored by Dynaco, we ride on board with this driver as they fit the hard tire going onto the options for their final stint. Our race leaders are in. Man Pifting and Smykos are both in. Man Pifting, the Arcade Racing number 7 crew, fit the primary medium tire. Smykos still needs to make their stop. They will also finish on the primary mediums. Great stop from both drivers, hit their marks perfectly. 16 Rise now takes the lead of this race for Stella Corsa. Going Me Chris 5 seconds back in second place. And that is the entire field having made their second and possibly final stop if they can stretch these tires out to the end. There may be a chance that they can't, and we'll have to make another stop, possibly an appearance of the qualifying soft tire. That will be very interesting to see as the laps unfold here at the Brickyard. Improved sectors coming all through the field as drivers get used to them, especially if they're finishing this race on the primary tire, able to run the hard in the middle, get it out of the way, have optimum grip for the very end, hopefully to get past the drivers who used all their primaries up at the beginning and have to run the option tire near the end of this race. Excuse me. 16 Rise, our leader, who's running around 5th, 6th in that first stint. Good use of strategy got them out in front. Right behind them is the lap down car of Sanskrit for Lozatos Racing in the 27. As we watch 16 Rise run low, you see just how much grass they're taking as they go around the Brickyard for the Indy 187 for Form the ROBLOX. It's incredible. For you? You sound fine to me, but what matters is we sort out our audio issues.
Hello, I think I'm back. I hope you can hear
He's
me on
back.
stream. I certainly do hear it. Apparently on the audio, whatever it's called, the board. So what I've been trying to do for the past 20 odd laps, I guess, is fixing my microphone, which is connected to my audio driver. I know you are here from racing, folks, but tip number 1 of trying to run a broadcast, although I shouldn't say this on stream, you should check your gear before you start streaming, of course. I was caught in a bit of a time loop. I tried to set up things a bit too quickly, and well, we learn from your mistakes. Just like how these drivers learn from theirs when everything is settled.
I can confirm you sound okay on the stream.
All right, this is my laptop mic.
A lot has happened.
Yes.
A lot has happened. So, Baduct that the second Arcade Racing driver, currently running 17th, their pit box is not there. They're deciding to stay out on this race, just get the laps in and hopefully appeal it later. But they can't stop, so they're on the original tire they started this race on a medium,
Which is
they
crazy.
can't pit.
Which is crazy. 45 laps.
Which they won't qualify for the results, but at the very least, it's good learning, and I think they are being a little cheeky and giving their teammate a slipstream. Through very good use of the strategy, 16 Rise took the lead of this race by quite a large margin, but it's starting to come back the other way as the other drivers who pitted on different timing are catching up to them. They are running the hard tire. So they ran medium, medium, hard, and the medium's definitely the primary tire for this race. Hard's the option. Manpifting ran primary, option, primary. They're on the mediums. They're currently running third, and they're 3 seconds back from the leader, so they have a chance possibly to catch up now and hope that the hard tire doesn't end up as the better tire now. But who was running 5th place at the beginning, 16 Rise has definitely taken control of this race, but Going Me Chris is not far behind.
Now, I will say something. I noticed in practice, 16 Rise was hitting the wall continuously in practice. He had a decent lap time. I didn't expect him to take the lead of this race so commandingly. At this moment, he is the leader on that strategy, which is currently running the hard tires. Manpifting is the leader on the medium strategy, which is being currently run on the medium. He has Maikos with him in that strategy, as well as Lepri, but I think Lepri is too far back to really help out. Maybe. So if you can see on the onboard right here, I think Manpifting is somewhere in the distance, let's say 6 seconds ahead. I believe it's the car you see at the very end of that tail of the tangle of cars. And at the moment, Smikos, he looked like the favorite, sort of, heading into this race, one of the favorites at least. At the moment, the runner-up from the round 1 on a photo finish, he is currently trying to avenge that, and on a roll, trying to get on the roll at least with Hyperboss.
The officials have given a blue flag call to Baduck that, to get out of the way of Smikos.
Considering
they are already a lap down. I think they're a lap down. They got a lap back from obviously not pitting because they can't pit, but are now trying to get out of the way. But they are fighting Sanskrit, funny enough, on that lap down. So lots of slipstreams being given out for the drivers lap down, as actually he's overtaking Maxim Ninja on one lap down to take 15th place. So quite a lot of adventures going on different laps, but possibly something wrong with that car. I know there was a change of car spec going into this race. So the cars are not quite the same for this round.
I think I know one way to improve the broadcast. Stay with me here. I don't think much is going to change the race. Hopefully not. I just need to go into settings. I just realized this. I can turn on the track map. So now I have hopefully the spectate. It's not there. Oh, it's still there. Never mind. It had a slight delay for nothing. I guess we'll just keep the track map for there now. I'll just figure that stuff out later. Sorry for all that, folks. But at the moment, we have a battle with the lead. Actually, 16 Rise has dropped back. As I went off. I'm not sure if this is a mistake. I think it's a mistake, or I'm not sure. I think the hard tires are not coping like they should be.
He started getting under some serious pressure from Going Me Chris and Manpifting. I think maybe they reeled him in using the slipstream and overtook him. Possibly, maybe someone hit the wall. It's hard to tell. There's all kinds of adventures going down on the lead lap and the next lap down.
Now, what I will say is one of my favorite parts of at least oval racing is that you continuously have different stories for each car throughout the day, throughout the race. You have a different story being written as the laps continue. And I think certainly we're seeing that. We're seeing each driver pretty much trying to adapt on the tires, trying to overcome any sort of pressure they're feeling. And I think it's a unique part of oval racing, and it's certainly being shown here at Indy. with the field size we have today. Two retired cars at the moment, Crazy Junior and Royal. Their stories ended quite prematurely, as at the moment we have 17 drivers still trying to end the story in a positive note. As Man 15 and going with Chris trying to give a good ending by fighting for the win. We are now more than 2/3 the way to the checkered flag. As our 16 race pits, he is the first pitter for the third stall, I believe. No, PvP Pit will beat him to that, but he
We
is
have drivers
essentially
coming
first
in
lap free
for
as
the
well.
3-stop.
16 race, it says he's on the medium tire. I doubt that, but no, he's on the hards. I'm not sure.
He has switched onto the options.
I'm not sure
I
the
guess based on what he
hards.
knows, he thinks the mediums can't make it.
That's interesting. Uh, Three stop is in effect now officially. And Pifting and Smikos. Going with Chris is also. Oh, I think Smikos is just heading in. We just saw him cut two on the left side of the pit attenuator. He is going to get his stop in. Last stop of the day, I'm pretty sure, for all of these guys. I doubt they're going to stop more after this. And Smikos now heads to the box. Hopefully, he has a clean stop. You can see right there customized pit boxes for Smikos. He actually took that of note. We appreciate that because that really helps improve not only his pit stop, because you can see where his pit box is more clearly, but also gives us a bit of more role play of pretending that he
He's
actually has
on the
stepped through
soft
there.
tire.
And he's on a soft tire. What?
He is on the what I've been calling the qualifying tire, but I guess he is hoping that it is going to be a good option for this race. Only driver I know of just to run the soft tire so far in this race.
PvP
That's
Pitbull,
still running.
Yeah, PvP Pitbull is one of them, but he's pretty much a lap down. He's out of this contention. That's interesting. A soft tire. I'm not sure what he's trying to do here. I think has he given up on racing with the win? I'm kind of perplexed, as the battle for the lead is still pursuing with going with Chris and Man 15. They haven't added so far like dogs so far throughout this race. Yeah, I think they were on the lead pack that broke away, and now going with Chris and Man 15, I believe is on they're on different strategies actually. Sorry, they're not on the same strategy. Smago's on the purple first sector. Is he going for the fastest lap? He has a split stream for it for sure. From 16 rise. Green second sector. I believe he might get the fastest lap here. See how much grip he has, even though he went wide from 16 Rise's line. That soft tire is so good, but that's just for a little bit of the lap. I'm not sure what he's trying to do here. As he comes across the line, it's got to be fastest lap. It is 43.6. PvP Pitbull, the other soft runner, in the way of the leaders at the moment.
There's a sorry, I'm reading some of the Discord happening
Now,
revolving the number 8. The number 8 arcade racing car apparently is going too fast, so he might be in the wrong car. His pit box didn't appear, so he's not going to qualify.
One thing I'm noticing is
anyway.
Hyperboss is falling back from the league fight. So he's losing time to someone who's on his right, going to be Chris. The Funny Group racing cars are now showing a bit of separation. Going to be Chris seems to be now the lead driver for this team in this race. And he is going to try to claw back some championship points here that he really needs. Tax in the pits for one of these midfield positions. He desperately needs to finish well. I think he should go in the mediums, as I don't think that's a green first sector. That's really rare in the current part of the race. Seems for now.
I'm trying to figure out who's up and who's down right. Stop is
Yeah, I'm wondering what's
destroyed my image of what this race looks like.
Interesting strategy. At the moment, going with Chris and Man Pifting, there are different strategies, and they go in the pits actually together. This is going to be interesting. Hyperboss also pits. This is the collective moment that everyone decides to come in. Let's see where Smichaels is going to end up. I think what Smichaels is trying to do here is build a gap from the leaders and go on the soft tires till the end. I could be mistaken, but it's certainly working.
Very,
Look
very
how
interesting.
far
I
ahead he
didn't.
is. He jumps right across them. They're still in the. They're still yet to exit the pits. That's how much he's gained. And another show, I think that maybe shows how much Michael's getting. Look how far he's gone away from 16 Rise. Can we go on board with him?
Soft
And
tire. Getting
maybe
of that now, but
by
he's
a bit
gonna
of
have,
the by the
gonna have
lead,
to fight
lap
later.
counter, you can see how far he's pulled away on those soft tires. But I doubt this is going to work.
He's gonna have to fight for this later for sure. We're seeing the drivers discover the medium isn't going as far as they probably hoped it would for the primary, and I think he just tapped the wall. That's Michael.
I think surely now, by now, he's got to feel that wear on the soft tires. This is meant to be for qualifying tires, not for the race. As XR also comes in, and that'll cycle out most of the leaders back to the net positions. Almost crisscross is the only one staying out for this long. Smikos has caught up to him as well. So he's getting more
This race has
slipstream.
turned on its head.
Smikos has definitely thrown a cog into a random part of the engine because he is trying to do something here. He pits again. What is going on in this race? I'm not sure what he's trying to do.
He wants to win clearly, and he wasn't winning. He's throwing what he can at the wall, tire wise, just trying to get back up to the front of this because he was barely fighting for the last position
I think
on
I
the
see
podium
what
as
he's
it stood.
doing. I think he's cooking, generally, because he goes on the medium now. I thought you would go on the softs again. This is a very interesting four-stop in this race. But I don't
Yeah,
get
I
this.
don't think the stock can make it that far anyway. So
I
now
think
he's going to try to go back on the primary.
I think there was a gamble to get the fastest lap. It certainly he did get the fastest lap. I don't know if there's any points for that. Maybe there is, or maybe it's just a bit of thing for the pride. But let's see. He is, I
I
believe, on 3 lap older tires than the rest, and he's on the same compound.
There are
So
2 points for the fastest lap.
yeah, 2 points.
2 points for the fastest lap, according to the official sheet.
I think he's net lost points in this race by doing that strategy. But let's see. He has lap cars in his way, trying to give him slipstream. But the next car, dear me, it's about what 9 seconds up the road. I don't know what it's trying to do here. And battle for the lead. Chris Cross is slightly losing a lot of time. He has to pit soon, man. He is not lasting so far. I think he's still on 2 stops only. Has to make a third one soon if he wants to get any chance of scoring. Maybe he thinks that now if he stays out is for the best, but everyone overtakes him with relative ease. So it looks like I think we have 3 main contenders here. Man Pifting, 16 Rise, and Going with Chris. Bit of a lag in the.
So,
Yeah.
all kinds of technical issues happening, not just with our stream, though our stream is working now. On the track, the number 8 arcade racing car, their pit box didn't appear, but there's also some discussion that their car is not in the correct spec. So going into this race, the officials updated all the oval racing cars to a new spec to match this track going forward. And I think possibly his car was not updated because he is going rather fast. He's also on a glitched tire because his pit box didn't appear.
Which driver?
And hasn't stopped in this race.
Which driver was that exactly?
So they will not qualify.
I think you meant Bad Duck that? Or no?
Yes, but
Oh, okay. Yeah, that seems he's the only
believe his
car
cars-
suffering from that. So we'll see what he makes of that. He is currently
Especially because
P3.
he's on 64 lap old mediums and he just climbed up from a lap down to 3rd place. So there's some suspicion that his car is not in the correct spec, which means it wasn't updated. I'm not quite sure how that works because I don't believe there's any other option for this machine, this chassis, the number 8 arcade racing.
He's going to be
So
disqualified anyway. I'm
definitely
surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised he's still going because he won't. This won't count for the race by technical rules. I'm not sure if
no.
they'll overrule that because of the pit glitch. Or let's see. He is gaining. He is gaining on the leaders. This is very interesting. What's going on? He does pit now. I think he's giving himself a penalty. Well, to each their own. As now we're entering the last 11 laps, last 10 laps soon, the next time by. And we have 3 main competitors as Among Us gets lapped again, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe, yeah, I think he just got lapped. As Battlecat comes into the
If you're
pits.
wondering what Product's doing, he's manually checking every single pit stall just to see if his is anywhere.
Maybe it's in victory
It's
lane.
still not.
Hopefully, he hopes secretly, but
No, okay.
yeah.
He's just confirming for sure that his pit box did not appear, and it didn't. I watched.
Oh, we did have official word from Royal. I missed that. It told Belloc to keep going, so he will go. He will be scored.
I'm not sure if he'll qualify just because he didn't. Because it's 2 issues. He doesn't have a pit box. Car doesn't appear to be in the correct spec. But he did pit, which also helped him.
Well, maybe it's a law of equivalent exchange. As we now have 10 laps to go, we should direct our focus mainly on this lead battle because it is quite insane. 16 Riser completely dropped out the field. We missed that. I think he has some sort. He did a very bad turn. He is now losing time to the top 2, but that
I have
still
to say,
means
every time we ride on board with 16 Rise, he goes right up against the wall.
I've seen that. I think he's struggling a bit now. Maybe it could be a technical difficulty because he was very competitive up till now, but looks like there's going to be a barn burner between Man Pifting and Going Me Chris. I believe they're on relatively the same combat of tire on the same amount of laps. They all pit on the same time, and that equal strategy has put them into this part of the race. This is for all the marbles, for all the bricks, and Indianapolis. Let's see if Going Me Chris can gain some time here.
The Brickyard can only offer one winner. 2 opposite fates for the arcade racing.
Look at the slipstream he's trying to gain from the lap car. That's what it means to win here. He's trying to do everything he can, using every bit of advantage that he can claw into his hands.
The lapped car is tax in the 30 for Lizados. I don't think they're close enough to be blue flagged at this stage. I don't have the blue flag information on my screen. Now they are. They're definitely getting caught by the race leader. But let's not forget, Goemi Chris will also have access to the very same lapped car. So it's all about making this work as it stands now.
At the moment, Man Pifting is gaining. This is not good for Goemi Chris. He shouldn't have this much of a disadvantage. He should be able to claw his way back. But I think he's just making too many mistakes. It's 6 laps to go. It's going to be very intense. I'm not sure if he can claw his way back from this, but Man Pifting is in clean air. He's going to be helped with the corners. All Goemi Chris has to do is try to get slipstream and not make a mistake heading into the exits. You can see right there, although a bit glitchy, that on board with him, he just avoided the wall. Let's see him through turns 3 and 4 at least. Because we have to get a glimpse of what he's trying to do here. See how carefully he runs, not overstepping the mark. He's trying to be very precise here. Lap cars hit the wall. Man
Come
Pifting.
down to the final 5 laps of this race. Man Pifting leads once again, yet to win in the Oval League.
Oh, he's lost a lot of time right there. Huge chunk, 3/10 in one corner. And he just went below, almost in the grass there. You can see how much he's trying to cut the track, just trying to see what he can do with it. And at the moment, Goemi Chris 7/10 away. But with lap cars, anything can happen. They're still not giving him way, which I think is better for going. I think he just made a mistake. 2 tenths loss from going with Chris. I think he just had a bunch of dirty air thrown on his car, and actually he's in clean air now. So it's going to be just man pifting and going with Chris finally heading on the 72nd lap. Oh, man pifting hit a huge bump. He lost a lot of time.
Oh,
Indianapolis, the brickyard, some of the bricks still there from that bump, and now going with Chris is trying to get some time back. He just lost time on the straight somehow. I'm not sure how that happened. Actually, just gained it back from slipstream again. This is going to be very intense. Going with Chris. Can't make a mistake now. Chris versus Man Piff. Comes down to this after 75 laps of racing hard. I'm not sure who will win. They seem very equal. They seem very, very competitive for the win. And now you can see the gap now less than half a second, less than almost quarter a second. Going with Chris. Still trying to get through turns 1 and 2 unscathed. Can't make a mistake now. It's a lot of pressure on both of these drivers.
Man pifting is getting reeled in by crisscross. Going me Chris rather. Sorry, there's a lot of Chris's in this field. Going me Chris, reeling in.
And look at now.
In that number 23 machine.
They're under a blanket. Heading down into turn 4. Going with Chris has to slow down for the corner. He has a bit of dirty air on his side. But look at the slipstream down. The yard of bricks they go. It's 3 to go in this race. We're going to have
The
an
Indy
unbelievable
187
finish.
has come alive. Going me Chris takes the lead of this race. He's gone right up against the wall. Man pifting takes it right back. This is for victory. This is for honor.
Very similar to, I believe, the 1988 finish, I believe, in the Indy 500. It's between two cars, very competitive. We have a bit of lag. Sorry for that part. Bad luck that pits again with technical issues. Is giving him some sort of a penalty here.
The word from the officials apparently is not only is his pit box missing, but his tires have no wear on a glitched compound. Man pifting is overtaken by going me Chris and loses 2 tenths, runs right down, dips into the greenery. They're going to come up to the white flag, sponsored by the case of the missing pit box. Take us home.
And now there's a lot of doubt in Man Pifting's head. Can he claw this time back? It's a huge deficit at the moment for him. It doesn't seem like much, but it just requires one mistake from Chris, and it could be all Man Piffs, but at the moment it's going to be very close. The 75th lap. It all comes down to this. Man Pifting, look how much it gains on the front stretch. The yard of bricks as they cross it for almost the last time, the penultimate time. They're side by side in the corner, just 20 milliseconds separating them into turns 1 and 2. Going with Chris overtaken again.
Race.
Man Piff in the lead.
Man pifting leads at the Indy 187 for Formula League for Arcade Racing number 7. The brand new team who hasn't won anything is out, but going me Chris catching him.
Going with Chris. I think he's taking it. They're still side by side by 15 milliseconds. I'm not sure who's going to get it. Turn 4 is going to be the decider. Can Man Piff get slipstream? Can he just cross him in time? 2.5 tenths of the gap. I think Man Pifting has hit the wall. Chris is going to win at the brick yard. And finally, he gets a win. He has clawed his way back into this championship.
2 races in a row, Man Pifting loses the victory on the final lap.
GG's all round throw. Incredible finish. Man Pifting. I wouldn't want to say he choked it at the end, but he did choke it at the end.
I don't know if Man Pifting choked or Going Me Chris just locked in.
That was an
for sure.
insane
Going Me Chris
finish.
deserves that win.
Hyperballs finishes third to round off a great day for Funny Group Racing. They win, and they'll get to kiss the yard of bricks, or in this case, I guess, have their car on the yard of bricks, because ROBLOX is in a very iffy position about kissing. at the moment with the lawsuit. But let's see. As we see the finish, 16 rise rounds to the P4. Of course, going to Chris, man 15, a hybrid boss. We discussed that, the top three. But 16 Rise had an unfortunate time today. He could have won. He was leading for a long time. Same with Smikos. He gets the fastest lap. That very weird soft compound run. I'm not sure what that was for, but I think he net gains position after all that has happened. So that's all that matters to him.
Yeah, he was in fifth when he pitted, so he got it back.
Yeah. Chris Cross finishes P6, Lepre in P7, XR in P8, Geo in P9, and the top 10 started off by Sussy Imposter. I believe after that, Slap Cars as it is, Among Us, and PvP. So that team gets 10th through 12th, almost all cars lapped. Max Simlinzik gets P13, Charles Leclerc Best at P14, and Sanskrit at P15, 2 laps down. We had DNFs, of course, 4 DNFs technically, that got disqualified. I hope that didn't come into effect, but yeah, Tax, Crazy Junior, and Royal technically were DNFs, and that, my friends, it was a hell of a race. We battled through a lot of technical difficulties, but in the end, we made it. We made a great finish for Indianapolis. I am Tesh Damesh, and we will
Next time
see
out,
you.
we have
Yeah.
the Nagoya 125, which is definitely for this sport. That'll be on September 27th. There will be double points given out, and all the drivers who are here, that's the race they want to win in one of Formula ROBLOX's finest bespoke tracks. My name's Gus the Goose.
And I'm Tesh Damesh. We will see you next time.
And we'll
in
see you
FRL
when
Nascar.
Formula ROBLOX